Hi, it's Diana from the Capawesome team, and today in this video I will show you how to set up the Capawesome Biometrics plugin in any Capacitor application and how to build a use case like this app where you click login. Let me show you. You click login, it will ask if you want to allow, and the Face ID is performed. So for this tutorial, I built a simple demo app that this one you saw. It's vanilla JavaScript with Capacitor, framework-agnostic, and a simple UI that, as I show you, it prompts the Face ID, or if the device doesn't have Face ID, it will default to fingerprints or to PIN code. There are several options. So for this video, I will assume you already have a Capacitor application, and we will focus only on adding the biometrics plugin and to show you how I built this use case that I show you. Okay, let's start. First, we will need to install the plugin. For this video, we will be following the documentation from Capawesome. This is the installation guide for biometrics plugin. So if we go to the installation part, we need to follow these steps. Something important to mention is that this plugin is only for Capawesome Insiders. Insiders is a subscription where you get instant access to lots of exclusive and very premium Capacitor plugins for production apps. If you are not already an insider, please check the documentation here. You can find it by clicking Insiders. Here you can find all the plugins we have, the benefits of being part of this group. You get very fast support from developer experts. Very good to think about it. Okay, let's go back to the installation part. We need to run these commands into our console. So just copy them and run them on your console here, and make sure to replace the license key with your license key. This will give you instant access to the Capawesome registry for insiders. Now we are ready to install the plugin into our project. And finally, we need to do a Capacitor sync in order to synchronize the plugin we have just installed in our project. Perfect. Okay, let's follow with the guide. So now there are these minor configurations that you need to do. If you are on Android, for example, you may need, this is optional, not all users need, but if you are using ProGuard, you will need to add the following rules. I will let this for you to read here because I don't need this on my demo project. But for iOS, this is mandatory. You need to, Apple is very careful about their privacy description, so you need to add these 2 lines in your plist file. So let's go here. As I told you, I already have a demo project to show you. Okay, so I added these 2 lines here. As I show you when we started this video, this is the description that Apple will show your users the first time they open the app. And it's like the reason why you are asking the permission to use Face ID. So you can change it and use whatever you want and need. Okay, that's all for configurations. Easy, right? Now let's go to the fun part. Let's go to the usage. How we can build an app that needs biometrics. So let me show you the code of the project I built. As I told you, this is super basic vanilla JavaScript project. So I mainly had 2 files that are important for this demo, app.js and biometrics.js. Let me close this. In biometrics.js, I have all the code, basically these 2 functions, but all the code needed to interact with the biometrics plugin. And in app.js, it's the app main file. The code that is important to us is this, like what happens when so for this demo, the use case I selected is the basic use case for Face ID, like have an auth card. So when the app's open, the user needs to click login and put the face. So as you can see here, this is what I'm doing. There is this login button, and when the user clicks it, we call this authenticate function, which is this one. So the first thing I do is call this require biometric auth, which is a function I did here in biometrics.js. Let's see what's inside. So here I'm checking I'm on a native platform, and then there are 2 steps we need to perform when we are using this plugin. The first one is to check if the biometrics are available, because some devices may not have biometrics, so you need to check if this is available. Also, you need to check if the user is enrolled to biometrics. For example, if the phone is new or if the user didn't do it, it may happen that they are not enrolled. So if this is the case, if you are on Android, for example, Android has this enroll function that you can use. Let me close here. So I explained everything in the comments. You will be able to download this demo app if you want. So everything is explained. So as I was telling you, you can use the enroll method to guide users through the enrollment process directly from your app. This is pretty cool from Android. iOS doesn't have this option, so you can just show a message, no biometric authentication is set up, please set it up. And if you want to go one step further, you could integrate the plugin to open the device configuration and take the user to that part of the configurations where they can enable this. Okay, so after you verify the biometrics are available on the device, that the user is enrolled to biometrics, let's go to the authentication part. As you can see, this plugin is very easy to use. You just call biometrics authenticate. Everything is explained in the documentation. So let me show you this here. And if you go to the authenticate method, you see all the options available that you can use and which are the default values. So feel free to explore this. But I'm using just some default text. And this one is important. This one lets users fall back to their device PIN or password if biometrics is unavailable. So what will happen when you call to this is that it will perform what you saw at the beginning of the video, like the device trying to use the Face ID in my case. Okay, that's all. And there is a try and catch, of course, and there are several errors that could occur. This one was explained here also. All the errors. And you need to catch them and you need to perform different things just to provide a good user experience, of course. So let's go back to the app. So when the user clicks the button, the login button, we will try to call this require biometrics auth. And if everything goes well, we will go to the home page of our application. If not, if we get inside the catch, we will call this get biometrics error message and display it inside div or something in this page that you see here. And we will offer the user to, like, do you want to try again? We will put another button, try again, and we will call again the authenticate. So let's go to the error message function that I created for this demo. So basically, I'm doing a switch through all the different possible errors, like the user canceled the process, the user is not enrolled, the user is not available. I mean, I know we already checked this, like I mentioned before, in the require biometric auth, but just in case, I mean, if you don't do these two in your code, I recommend to do it, but in case you don't, and the error happens, they will be catched here. So you can show the user the correct message so he understands what is happening and try to solve it. Okay, and that's all. That's all for the code of this demo. It's pretty easy, right? We did a very good job, I think, on this plugin, like making it super easy to use, super easy to understand. Of course, this is a very nice feature that you can add to many different use cases. Like, for example, have a private part within an app. It's not just for like the login screen. You can provide, like, for example, to confirm a transaction, you know, all those kind of verifications. Let me show you again the app. So look at the phone. And let me try to make it like I will cover my face. You see here, like, it's offering me to, okay, it's not recorded because for privacy, but it's offering me to put the PIN. So if I put my PIN in my iPhone, okay, I'm inside. So this was the fallback I explained you. So that's all. Thanks for watching. I hope this video was useful for you. And if you have any questions about how to integrate or how to use this plugin or any advanced use cases that you want to try, feel free to find me and ping me, and I will be super happy to help you. Bye.